G'day guys, 10 Tony TV here and welcome to the next episode of my Moneyball FM save. Now, real quickly, last episode, you may have felt like you were left on a little bit of a cliffhanger. You probably thought I was going to come back and bring you the first match of the season, and as you can tell already, I didn't do that. And there's a reason. Yes, there is. So, in honour of General Demi and myself combining our Discords and making it one Discord, the Checkpoint Lounge. Yes, we do have some merch. Message me on Discord if you want to look into getting one of these shirts or one of these lovely mugs. Anyway, in honour of that and trying to see what does the Checkpoint Lounge really mean? Well, it's somewhere for all our viewers to get together and come to a decision of, hey, I feel like playing this game today. Is there anyone online that wants to play? I want to chat about this or chat about that. It's more of a lounge setting, somewhere where you can sit down, chat with friends. So I thought, how can I make my save more interesting? Well, I decided, seeing as this is the story of not me as a manager, the story of Charlie Cosmo, I thought, why not change things up a little bit to the norm and do things in a way where it's more of a chat lounge setting. So here's what's going to happen, and here's how today's episode is going to go. Today's episode, you're not going to see a match. We're not going to be commentating a match. No, we're actually going to do that in the next episode when we see Charlton live. That is what's going to be the next episode, one of their live matches. Today, what we're going to do is we are going to be going through Charlton Chat. What's Charlton Chat, do you ask? Well, here's what's going to happen. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to go through what has happened in the month of August so far. There's still one match to play in August, and that's what's going to be on Charlton Live next episode. Today, we're going to go through what's happened up to that point. What transfers have happened. Have a look at the tactics. Have a look at the stats so far of the players up till now, and so on and so forth. Have a look at my stats up till now. See how they're going. So that's what we're going to be doing today, and I'm calling it Charlton Chat. I'll be back with you in a sec. Hello and welcome to Charlton Chat. This is going to be your one-stop shop to hear about everything that's happened over the past several weeks, month, however long it might be. And all we're going to talk about is Charlton. Well, actually, that's a lie. We're going to touch a little bit on the rest of the league briefly, but our focus is going to be on Charlton. Why Charlton, do you ask? And that is because we are following the story of the new manager, the young and energetic Charlie Cosmo. So, last episode, you all met Charlie Cosmo. Today, we're going to see how he has progressed since he took over back on the 29th of May, 2024. So, you'll remember that back then, Charlton had been relegated from the League One down to the League Two. And Charlie Cosmo got right to it. He's made a host of signings. He's gotten rid of a whole heap of players, a lot because he didn't want to, because they just wanted to leave after being relegated. But some that he did. Let's see how he fared. Well, he transferred out about £1.8 million worth of players. First thing he did, loaned out Micah and Bick, young, energetic striker, who is out on loan at the moment at Farnborough, doing quite well. 4 appearances, 2 starts, 2 off the bench. Only played 190 minutes, but he's already got a goal. He's getting an okay rating, but as you can see there, he is actually doing quite okay. He needs to up his goals a bit. That's what's happening this season, but we're not going into that just yet, are we? No, but yes, he's loaned out Micah. He sold Luke Berry, who wanted to leave, sold him to St Johnston for £775,000. Sold to Nye Watson, another one who wanted to leave, a really good right back who, honestly, I know that Charlie was looking at keeping and making his number one right back. But he went to St Mirren for 195. Alex Mitchell, another one that Charlie really wanted to keep. Young, energetic centre-back, tall, good heading, good strength and jumping. The ideal centre-back for Charlie's formation and the Charlie's way of play. Well, he left, went to Peterborough for $275,000. That fee eventually to rise to £300,000, pending other appearances and instalments. Miles Liebman was another one that went because they got relegated. He wanted to leave, and Charlton got a whopping £525,000. That's going to rise to $600,000. He's gone to St Mirren as well, joining Tanai Watson. Aaron Henry, a young central midfielder, another one that Charlie really wanted to keep. He's gone to Stevenage for $73,000, and then there was loans going out for Henry Ryler and Luke Ashburn from the under-21s, going to Kettering and Merthyr, respectively. But coming in were some really good signings, and I can tell you already, they have already stepped up this season. So first there was the purchase of Sam Shearing. He came in from MK Dons. Came in for a whopping £275,000. Paul Glatzel, good, energetic, right attacking midfielder, coming in from Swindon for £325,000, but that is going to rise to $425,000 with add-ons. And then Ellis Taylor came in from Harrogate for £325,000. Ellis is an attacking left midfielder, can play in other positions, but that is where he's going to be played most of the time. So that was at the end of last season. Since then, there's been a whole host of things happen. More players have left. Ghassan Hadmi, young striker that really wanted to be kept at the club, but couldn't. 100,000, rising to 135, went to Reading. Connor Coventry left for Aberdeen on a whopping £575,000. Patrick Casey went out on loan from the under-21s to Barry. Same with Kai Enslin going out on loan to Hemel Hempstead. Zach Mitchell. This was a big loss for Charlie Cosmo. Zach Mitchell. Zach was a defender that Charlie really wanted to keep. Again, some good jumping, acceleration, passing. Good young central defender, tall, the way Charlie likes his central defenders. He's gone to Lincoln for £115,000 to rise to £155,000 with add-ons. And then this is where it got really, really tough. All of a sudden there was offers coming in for a whole host of the Charlton first team. Players that Charlie had basically put into his squad and said, these are the guys that are going to be starting regularly. And he's had to change things up big time. So Daniel Kanu, nice young striker, left to go to Oxford for £375,000. Seydel Toure left to go to Tranmere. Jacob Safar has gone out on loan with Max Merrick. Max Merrick was a young keeper that was brought in on a free from Chelsea. And is a keeper for the future. He's on loan out to Southend. That could develop to be a really good signing, hopefully, in the future. Then Tyrese Campbell, left midfielder, was the initial starting left midfielder, gone to Bristol City for an amazing £800,000. A good piece of transfer activity there in terms of the fees received. Then Lloyd Jones, the central defender, went to Wrexham for £245,000, coming in up to $250,000 with add-ons. But this is then where Charlie's gone out on a bit of a spree, and he's brought in a whole host of players on free transfers. We've already spoken about Max Merrick, young keeper, 19 years old. He's out on loan. We'll see how he goes. Zach Gilsonen has come in, left attacking midfielder. He's already started playing, and you can tell he's already. That's a great show of stats there. We're going to go through those soon. Ben Wayne, striker, came in. He's already started off pretty well for the club. Ajani Birchall, another one that came in on a free. He's come in from Aston Villa. Ajani's got into the under-21s for now. He's still got a bit of developing to do. Same with Charlie Lutz. A bit of developing to do. He's coming to the under-21s. Another good attacking midfielder coming in from Aston Villa. And then we had Carol Figueroa, who's come in as well from Liverpool this time. He's a striker who, again, hoping that he's going to develop. We'll see how he develops over the next couple of seasons. Then they brought in Oakley Cannonier. Oakley is a 21-year-old striker who came in from Liverpool, and already he has had an impact in the club. We're going to go through that when we go through the stats and the matches. Kyrie Pierre. Kyrie Pierre came in from Aston Villa as well. Aston Villa releasing a whole heap of players, and Charlie was jumping at the chance to sign them up. This is a nice young central midfielder who, again, some pretty decent attributes there from what we know, and hopefully can develop into a very good player in the future. Then Ethan Amundsden Day came in, central defender, coming in from Aston Villa again. Has featured in a couple of games as well. He came in on a free, and then Ryan Tafazoli was the latest one to come in, a 33-year-old central defender, bringing in a whole host of experience from the high leagues in England. So obviously Charlie's going to be looking to him to really settle that back line and lead from the back. So that's what's happened. 2.2 million transfer fees coming in from transfers out. No transfer fees being spent on transfers coming in this season. So far, when you look at the 2 seasons and what Charlie's done, you've got about 4 million coming in fees, about 950,000 going out. He has done pretty well, increasing the club's bank by about 3 million just in transfers. And then, let's have a look at how he's fared since he's come in. First, there's the tactic. He's gone with a 4-4-2 almost, or a 4-2-2-2. Very focused down the middle with the play, playing out of the defence, looking for the overlap from the wing-backs, working the ball into the box, and then in transition, the counter and the counter press, distributing it quickly, and while they're out of possession, with a bit of a higher defensive line and a high line of engagement, is how the team has been playing. Now, with that said, let's have a look at what has happened in the matches. Pre-season was amazing for Charlton. A 3-2 victory over Dagon Red, with Glatzel, the newcomer, Karoy Anderson, and Kanu, who's left the club, all getting on the score sheet. Then it was away to Averley, and a 7-2 thumping. A hat-trick from Kanu. Glatzel on the score sheet again. A Sinway on the score sheet. Tyrese Campbell, who's now left the club, on the score sheet. And then they went out to Bromley. A 2-0 victory there with Kanu and Godden getting on the score sheet before they then travelled to Welling. Now, Welling are playing their trade in the National League South. They are 2 leagues below. However, it was still a very good victory. An 8-0 victory with Kanu again with another hat-trick. It was a shame that the clubs lost him. Godden, another 2 goals. Anderson, another goal. So the boys were piling up the goals, and then it was a home game against Aberdeen. Now remember, Aberdeen play in the Scottish Premiership. They are currently sitting second in the Premiership after 3 rounds. And Charlton managed to beat them 1-0 with a goal from Paul Glatzel, the newcomer, the new right attacking midfielder. He has been absolutely phenomenal down the right-hand side, and we're going to go through that when we go through these other matches. Stoke was the next opponent. Stoke playing in the Championship. Currently towards the bottom of the Championship, but they're still in the Championship, 2 leagues above Charlton, and it was a 5-3 drumming. 2 goals to Karoy Anderson, Godden on the score sheet again, Glatzel on the score sheet again, and then Tyrese Campbell. Very, very well done. And then it was off to the start of the season. It was a match against Bradford at home. Televised match. And what can I say? What can I say? It was absolutely amazing how Charlton managed to lose this match. I know, I saw Charlie at the end of the match. He was fuming. He was ready to throw the water bottle. But there were positives to take from the match. There was great ratings from Godden, Ramsey, Small, Glatzel, Gilson, and Godden getting on the score sheet, and we're going to take you through those goals. Let's have a look at the goals. So first there was the goal from Bradford. Smith getting down that left-hand side, back to Silcott, Dewberry. The cross comes in. Patterson at the back post. Maynard having no chance, unfortunately. Small couldn't quite get up there with that header to try and stop that. But then, second half, 82nd minute, Small finds Anderson, back to Small. Small trying to redeem himself. Gilson with the low cross into Godden, and Godden first time makes no mistake of it, and that was how Charlton managed to rescue a draw in the 83rd minute. But it was good to see Glatzel, one of the newcomers, with a really, really good match. Gilson, another one of the newcomers, with another good match as well, getting the man of the match as well. Really good to see. XG from the players up there. Expected assists were getting up there. Dribbles. The club did so well. 16 shots to Bradford's 12. There was 5 on target to their 3. 3 clear-cut chances. How they didn't put those away. And the possession, 64% to 36. The club was playing well. They dominated the match. Other than that little brief period where they conceded, the match was dominated. But they just couldn't find the back of the net. But then they came out in the Carabao Cup first round at home against Oldham, who are also in the League 2, and this was a phenomenal match. Tyrese Campbell getting on the score sheet before he's left the club. Matt Godden on the score sheet again. Paul Glatzel again. Zach Gilson and Chucks Anike. This one was a really interesting match because it was 1-0 up to Charlton, 1-1. Then it became 2-1 to Charlton, 3-1 to Charlton, 4-1 to Charlton. Then Oldham tried to make a comeback, but it was just too late. And let's have a look at these goals. A very, very, very good match, very entertaining match. Here we are with Glatzel coming down that right-hand side. Glatzel finding the right time to put the cross into Anderson, who finds Tyrese Campbell out wide with no one marking him. And he could put as much power as he could behind that shot. Day having no chance. After that, it was Oldham with an equaliser. Mitchell finds Ogle in the middle. Ogle out to Conlon, who had plenty of space. Too many bodies in front of Maynard. He couldn't really see that ball properly, so he couldn't get across it in time to get a hand on that ball. But then Godden finds Campbell. Anderson finds Anike, and then Doherty finding Glatzel, who managed to get a deflection on his shot. It gets to Godden, who makes no mistake of it. And that put the club 2-1 up. And then it was on to the third goal for Charlton. Glatzel again involved. Making his way inside, finds an opening, takes the curling shot. And that was 3-1 to Charlton at that point. Then it was second half. Goes to Godden. Godden takes Taylor it was. A bit of a shot. Taylor gets it again. Gilson, and this time with the head. A very good, powerful header. Taking it to 4-1 to Charlton. Then Oldham trying to make a bit of a comeback. A late surge. Pritchard gets the cross in. Norwood was there for the header. Don't know what the Charlton defenders were doing there. They were just standing still. They were flat-footed, way too flat-footed. But then Doherty, on a yellow card, gets the ball, makes the run down that right-hand side, cuts inside, plays the ball back to Anike. Anike with a nice little run, a nice little first-time touch. That put the match beyond any doubt. It was 5-2 at that point. But then Oldham wanted to get another goal just for, just to try and help themselves feel a bit good. It was a nice, easy goal there for Mitchell. No one marking him. And that was how that match ended, 5-3. A very, very dominant match again by Charlton Athletic. Then it was on to the away match to Crewe. And this one here was, wow. Again, an absolute dominating performance from Charlton. And let's have a look at the goals from this one. So the first goal went to Charlton, a corner from Taylor. Jones gets the rebound. Campbell out wide. Tyrese Campbell with a nice shot from just out inside the 18-yard box. Then it was another corner. Taylor. Godden with the volley. That was the first goal for Godden. That was 2-0. Crew then got themselves a goal to bring it back to 2-1. You can see Clark there making the run, and wow, what a powerful shot coming in off the upright. Then it was Charlton again, Small with the run down the left-hand side, playing that overlap like Charlie wants him to. Campbell on the inside there, finds Godden. Godden gets the goal number 2. Nice, easy little tap in. And then Taylor, again, a Simway down that right-hand side this time. Crosses the ball in. Godden couldn't quite get to it. And then it was Wayne, the new striker that had come in, getting his first goal for the club. And then Wayne making his run down the right-hand side. This time, cross comes in. Anderson was there. A nice, easy free header. Good power behind that header to get another one there for Charlton. And then it was on to the 6th goal for Charlton. Glatzel again involved. Anderson. A nice little cheeky shot getting past all the defenders and the keeper who couldn't quite see what was going on. And then it was goal number 7. This made it 7-1 at the time. Small with the run. Cuts out a bit wide on the left and cuts back inside. The cross comes in. Godden gets his hat-trick. And that's where he completed his hat-trick for the match. And then Crew managing to get another goal back here to make it 7-2. Tracy with the run after getting the ball from the goal kick. And then the deflection, troubling Maynard, Long managing to get on the end of it to get a goal there to make it 7-2. And then Tracy finding Kapake, back to Tracy, and then Long again with the shot, the rebound, and Long gets a second goal there to make it 7-3 to Charlton. So a very dominating win there. The stats say it all. And what was good to see was that passes completed and tackles won in all the matches so far had all been over 80%. Headers won was a bit of a problem for Charlie's side. It was then on to another match against Oldham, this time in the league competition, and it was another convincing victory, a 3-0 victory this time. And we're going to look at the goals now. First, there was the penalty that was scored by Godden, getting on the score sheet once again. A very strong penalty. Day going the right way, however, couldn't quite get to it in time. Then you had Shering playing it to Taylor. Glatzel involved again, and Cannonier, the other new striker that had come in, with a nice shot, getting past Day on a very tight angle, but doing very well to get it through there. That made it 2-0. And then Anderson with a run down that left-hand side, cuts it inside. Cannonier finds Glatzel, and Glatzel with a powerful shot into that top left-hand corner, leaving Day stranded. 3-0 to Charlton, and it was a spectacular performance. Glatzel getting the man of the match then. He has been involved in so much already this season that we've seen from those highlights. It was then on the road to Swindon, and here, for some reason, Charlton just couldn't get it done. Their finishing just wasn't there this match. Only one of their 13 shots on target, and it was a 1-1 draw. This 1-1 draw was unfortunate. First, Godden getting on the score sheet, another penalty, another very strong penalty. So it looks like Godden's going to be the penalty taker for the club moving forward. And then Swindon with Smith, a nice little cheeky backheel there to McAllister, and McAllister with a curling shot. Maynard just dove a little bit late, couldn't quite get to it, giving Swindon a late equaliser there, and that is all she wrote in that match. And then it was on to the Carabao Cup second round, and Wow, what an opponent to draw. Premier League side Southampton, drawn in the second round of the Carabao Cup. And this match here, well, this was a match for the neutrals. This one had it all. Believe it or not, Charlton took the lead in the first minute. And then Southampton just ran away with it. Actually, no, they didn't. Sorry, I lie. Yes, they did. They went 1-1, 2-1, 3-1, 3-2, 4-2, 5-2, 5-3, 6-3. It was a match that was full of action. Full of action. And here are the goals. First minute, 36 seconds in, Taylor with the ball. Nice little run down that left-hand side. The cross comes in, a slight deflection, and Wayne with the finish, giving Charlton the lead. And then Southampton, Harwood Bells crosses it in, Dibbling, and then Sin with the deflection. Right spot, right time. And then Petrovsky to Rivera. Nice little run there from Wellington, I've got to be honest. And then he still manages to hold on to it. And then Sin, and then Wellington with the finish. A very strong finish, making it 2-1 to Southampton. And then with Southampton's third goal, Rivera, Petrovsky, the cross comes in. Dibbling was there for the header. Maynard just not having a good night. That made it 3-1. And then Taylor from Tafazoli, and then to Wayne, and then to Glatzel. Glatzel again involved in yet another goal. Glatzel with the finish, making it 3-2. Before Southampton then ran away with it once again. Sin this time, the nice ball there to Dibbling, who had a nice little run. And then the cross, the low cross to Haller, who finished it first time. That was 4-2. And then 5-2 with Sin. And then Glatzel involved once again. Cannonier this time. The cross comes in. And Wayne once again with the header. That was Charlton's third goal in the 80th minute. And then Southampton finished it off to make it 6-3. It was just a terrible clearance there from Maynard. Petrovsky, a dozy, and that was it. That's all she wrote there. It was a 6-3 finish, progressing Southampton to the next round of the Carabao Cup, and Charlton were out. So that's where things sit so far in terms of results and the goals. Leyton Orient's the next opponent. You're going to see that match in the next episode when we when we join you for Charlton Live. We'll be commentating on that match, and it's going to be a spectacular match, I hope. But now let's have a look at the League Two stats. Top goal scorers. Matt Godden is on top of the goal scoring charts with 6. The next one down, Woodrow with 5 for Leyton Orient, and then 3 goals for Chesters, Harrott and Coyote. Glatzel and Godden, the two highest average ratings, 7.72 for Godden, 7.57 for Glatzel, and then a whole host from there, going from 7.55 Edwards down to 7.5 for Chesters and Tom White. So seeing some Charlton players already up there. Clean sheets, obviously, hasn't been many clean sheets for Maynard, unfortunately. And the assists, well, where are the Charlton players in the assists? Let's have a look. Players detailed. Let's have a look at assists. Alright, so we've got Glatzel is equal 5th there on 2 assists, and then we have Tyrese Campbell all the way down there with 1, who is now at Bristol. And then after that, Wayne Cannonier also on 1 down there, as is Lloyd Jones and Zach Gilson. And so a lot of players small with 1. a lot of the Charlton players there with some assists. So far doing good. Charlton are sitting in 8th place at the moment, only 4 points off the leaders, with 8 points from their first 4 games, 2 wins, 2 draws, so doing very well there. And let's have a look at the... let's have a look here at the stats. So far, the goals for the club, as we saw, 7 goals in all competitions to Godden, 3 to Wayne, 3 to Glatzel, 2 to Karoy Anderson, and then 1 apiece for Gilson and Aniki. And then the assists overall, we have 3 to Glatzel, Cannonier with 2, Doherty with 2, Taylor with 2, and then 1 apiece for Gilson and Small and Anderson. So the players doing very, very well. But what's even more important is when you look at some of the other stats here. So Oakley Cannonier, who's one of the strikers, doing quite well with his goals and expected goals. Progressive passing has been pretty good. Possessions lost a good amount, keeping it low there. Tackles won, doing very well as well. So still a bit of work to do there with the goals and the non-penalty expected goals there for Cannonier. Godden, however, to show you in terms of strikers, look at that non-penalty expected goals, 0.93, then the goals 1.29 per 90 minutes. So he's doing very well, scoring above his XG. Shots is up there as well as his, the fact that he's keeping his possessions lost down. And then this one's the really, really impressive one. If we look here for an attacking midfielder, Paul Glatzel, who's been playing down that right-hand side, 6 appearances so far, 3 goals, 3 assists, a 7.68 rating overall. His progressive passing and passing completed has been phenomenal. He's not losing the ball all that much. He's winning the ball quite a bit. Needs to improve that a little bit. However, if you look at his non-penalty XG at 0.19, but he's scoring at 0.55. His expected assists is up there at 0.51, but he's really, really firing on all cylinders at the moment for the club. Looking real good at the moment. And then you've got Terry Taylor, another one who has been doing pretty well there with his passes completed, his possessions won. That's where he's really excelling for the club. Ellis Taylor down that left-hand side really hasn't featured all that much just yet. He's still quite young. He could feature a little bit more. But for that left-hand side, it has been mostly Gilson, who is currently injured, unfortunately. He will be out for another 5 weeks, roughly 2 to 5 weeks, with a groin strain. But if you look at how he has done so far down that left-hand side, he has been phenomenal as well. Dribbles could be probably a little bit more. Needs to look into losing the ball a bit less and trying to win the ball a bit more. Those sorts of stats need to be increased. However, he is doing very well indeed. And then we look at Maynard Brewer, who unfortunately has not had the greatest of starts in terms of clean sheets and in terms of goals prevented. However, we are winning the matches. We are scoring more than we are conceding. But I'm sure Maynard Brewer is quite upset with how he's doing. He's going to want to increase his stats moving on in this season. He's going to really want to cement his place down because he's got a lot of great youngsters coming through, in the likes of Max Merrick, who's doing quite well out there at Southend. In terms of the defence, Pefazoli, who's come in, has done quite well since he has come in, winning a lot of headers, which is what is expected of a tall centre-back. Getting on the score sheet, getting some shots on goal as well. Not quite on the score sheet yet, but getting some shots on goal as well, which is really good to see that there is defenders getting up there and getting some shots in. And then Sam Shearing, another one, doing very, very well from his 6 appearances. Good progressive passing and dribbles. possessions won, headers won, doing very well with his pressures attempted as well. And again, another one that's getting a couple of shots off as well, which is really good to see that there are attempts coming from all over the park. So the club doing very, very well at the moment. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our rundown. That's our Charlton Chat for today. That is the Charlton Chat for the month of August 2024. We will see you next time for Charlton Live when Charlton take on Leyton Orient at home in the Sky Bet League 2. We will see you all then. Thank you very much. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is Charlton Chat for today. Thank you very much for being here. I hope you've all enjoyed it. It is a very different way of doing my videos than I have before. I hope you're really enjoying it. Do leave your feedback in your comments below. I really, really enjoy reading them and trying to get back to everyone. If you haven't yet and you have enjoyed the video, do hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, that little bell notification so you can know when other videos are being uploaded. Also, do go and look in the description of the video, find the link to our Discord, Checkpoint Lounge, really fun place, growing community that we're trying to grow even more. It's becoming a very fun place. There's a lot of people chatting and gaming together, various different games that we all play. Do come over, join the Discord, and do come and say hello to us. I want to say a big thank you to you all, and I will see you all next time. 1080 TV, signing out.